Hello and welcome to Focus Westerville. I'm your host, John Buckles. As many know, Westerville's award-winning Division of Police provides outstanding service to our citizens and helps make Westerville the safe and vibrant community that it is. It's comforting to know that whether you're traveling through our city or at work, home, or play, there's often an officer nearby or just a phone call away. In addition to what you might think of as more traditional police duties, the Westerville Division of Police is also engaged in community service initiatives that serve virtually every segment of our population. Westerville police officers work together to provide valuable community programs on a daily basis, many times going beyond their job description. Westerville Chief of Police Joe Moritzer explains.
We're unique as far as policing goes. As most people expect the traditional policing when it comes to enforcing laws and arresting the bad guys, we do that extremely well. However, we're also very well known for our non-traditional side, which is the community outreach side. And within our division, we have a whole bureau dedicated to community policing and community services. And that's the whole goal of police work, is to build relationships and break down those barriers to make it a better operating system to keep each community as safe as possible. When we look at committed time, those are some of the most committed positions we have in the entire department as far as staffing time goes. Because from the minute they come in to the minute they leave, which is usually past their work time, they are constantly busy providing services to the community. Whether it's telephone calls, whether it's being out doing community programming, whatever it may be, they are constantly working. We're just so fortunate to have the staff that we have.
On this edition of Focus Westerville, we're going to highlight just a few of many community services our police department offers. First up is a very important collaborative effort between our police and our schools, the School Resource Officer Program.
10:45. I'm at a meeting.
Okay, when are you available?
Hang tight.
So you didn't have time, which is good. I mean, that's a good thing. What you'd rather do. Here in Westerville, we had a full-time school resource officer assigned to every high school and every middle school. So that is my job. That is what we do for the 8 or 9 months that school is in session. My main position in the school is obviously safety for the students and for the staff, first and foremost. I do help out a lot with the school, enforcing school rules with them, with the administrators.
What's most important is the relationships that our SRO, Erin Peachy, she develops with our kids, that they understand that she is a community helper and not just somebody to catch them doing something, that we work together and that she really is truly part of our community. I think that is the most influential part of the relationship that we have and the relationship that she has with the kids, to try to make sure that they're becoming better people, better citizens.
Sometimes it's just having that person that's there for them every day, that there's someone that they know that they can come and talk to, discuss problems with. What did I tell you to do?
So just ignore her.
But you need to stop. You need to stop. Just don't contact her. Don't do any of that. Just be done.
And if she's going to cheat on me, I understand that you're trying to protect me. He was like, because you don't want me to get hurt.
You never feel awkward going to her. She always gives good advice, and like she doesn't make you feel awkward or uncomfortable talking to her. And it's not like being at school. It's like talking to one of your friends.
I tell kids all the time, we can't choose you don't choose where you come from, but you choose where you're going to go. And that's by making the good choices starting now, and educating them on how the choices you make now come back later on when you're an adult and can hinder what you'd like to do.
And she does a fabulous job getting to know them. It's not just a uniform. You know, the kids see her in a different light. They know she's an officer, but they also know that they need some information, advice, or help, just daily help. She's always there for them.
I generally get to school anywhere from a half hour to 15 minutes before school starts. I go check in my office. I read all of the school email, all of my email from the police department. Then I usually come and I check in the office. I check in with the principal and the secretaries. I see which teachers are out for the day, which rooms I may have to spend a little extra time checking on if they have subs. See if there's any incidents that occurred either after school the night before, anything on our buses from that morning, and kind of go from there.
Officer Peachy and I collaborate pretty much every day, nonstop, you know, with regards to discipline and different supports. She's like a counselor. She's very supportive. She has a great relationship with a lot of the students. With me being new, Officer Peachy's known some of the students for years, so I bring her in sometimes when students are having difficulties. She also is a great liaison with us and the parents, because she's very familiar with a lot of the parents, so we collaborate nonstop throughout the day.
This is my office. As you can see, it's kind of like a big white igloo, and I have no windows or anything, so I decided to start letting my outgoing 8th graders sign my wall. I have stuff in here. Again, this is my 6th year, so I have stuff in here still up from every year I've been here. Pictures, things kids have made me, cards. These that are falling off the wall over here are from my first year here, 7th graders that are graduating this year. It's funny because they come back in the building to see me sometimes, and they'll always come in and be like, "You still have our stuff up?" And I'm like, "Of course I do." I said I would leave it up till they graduated, so we'll finally take it down after this year. I just keep taping them back up. I think I want them to know, first and foremost, I'm here for your child's safety, and this is why I'm an officer, and this is what I choose to do. But I also want to form good relationships with kids so that they understand that the police are the good guys. You know, we're not out looking to arrest your child. I'm not here looking for just criminal activity and things to do. I mean, I'm here to be a good role model for your kids, to be an outlet for your kids, someone for them to come and talk to guide them, get them on the right path.
It's clear the impact of a school resource officer goes beyond the walls of the school. Students benefit from their interactions with police officers in countless ways, and some are actually inspired to explore a career in law enforcement.
Sir, we are the Westerville Police Explorers. We will serve the public with the highest possible standards of service. We will do what is right, legally and ethically, fulfilling our duties and taking responsibilities for our actions. We will give support and allegiance to our country, community, and division. We will be truthful at all times and above all have integrity. We are Westerville Police Explorers, sir. Take seats.
All right, well, Exploring is actually a program open to young men and women ages 14 to 20. To give them an opportunity, if they're interested in law enforcement, to see truly what it's all about. We encourage them to be responsible citizens within the community, and certainly make sure they have an overall understanding of what police work is and all the different types of assignments that they can get into should they choose the criminal justice field.
Well, we are 6 years into our Explorer program here in the city of Westerville, and this was the result of a very positive, very active Citizens Police Academy with the adults. When we saw how positive that was, we decided to do a youth program. So in July, for 1 week, we have a youth academy to learn about the police department and public safety and public service. Once they graduate from the youth academy, they also have the privilege to apply for the Explorer's post.
And we understand that the majority of explorers may not get into law enforcement, but just opening their eyes to the criminal justice field in general. There are so many different facets in criminal justice, so many different things they can get into, from the court system to even corrections, law enforcement, federal, state, local, even private entities that work with law enforcement. If it sparks their interest and we can kind of guide them in the right direction and get them on course, that's fantastic.
All ranking members should be down here. Check yourselves over. I've been in the program, this will be my 5th year. I've been the captain for about 2 years, and I've learned a lot from the experience. Well, tonight we're learning a bit about building searches that deals with, having a group of 4 people, 4 officers respond to either an open door, someone seeing a person go into an actual house or building, and then we go from there and we do some tactics. Depends on what's in there, and we'll figure it out.
Second floor. All the doors are supposed to be open on this floor.
So you would come right in here, and then you would go to the left?
It's probably the most important part, because you can get told what to do all day long, but until you actually practice it, you're not really going to know what to do or what to look for. I mean, what I've seen in the 5 years that I've been here, it's incredible where you can hide, what you can do, so it really helps.
1, 2, 3.
come in, she came along this way, partner went that way.
I got into it because I thought law enforcement would be a cool career. I've been right. I've been here a long time. I'm currently in school for criminology, so I don't know, it just solidified my want to be here.
Personally, I've actually learned to know and understand that I love law enforcement. You know, I've always seen the CSI and all the Bones episodes and stuff, and it always fascinated me, but I never thought that I myself could do it. And I've actually really thought of law enforcement as a career option. And, you know, here and there, I'm 100% sure I'm going to do it, but then I always think of something else. So I love this program a lot, and it's made a lot of friends for me, a lot of really good relationships in Westerville, and I love the community.
It's more than just law enforcement. It's about providing skills and opportunities. It's about showing them what it is to be a responsible citizen within the community, giving back to the community. It's about learning those life skills and how to talk to people, and being successful at something and having confidence in yourself, breaking yourself out of that shell, and whatever job you choose, law enforcement or anything in criminal justice, you know, having the courage to go through with it and be successful at it.
Let me see your hands, police. Let me see your hands. Step out. Step out, hands up, face away from me. Face away from us. Keep your hands up. We got one in here. Step back towards me. Turn right, your other right. Stop.
Interlace your fingers. Palms out towards me. Don't move.
To me, it's rewarding just to have them be on the right track and know exactly what they're going to do and prepare them for when they get there.
It's exciting to see some of Westerville's youth experience a broader view of law enforcement and even lead their generation to become an extra set of eyes and ears for the division. If you know someone who might be interested in the Youth Police Academy or the Explorers Group, direct them to the city website for more information and an application. Next on Focus Westerville, an important Division of Police program specifically designed for women.
Just so you kind of know how we're going to do it tonight, some basic concepts, techniques, again, stance, some strikes, some escape maneuvers.
Women's self-defense is one of our most popular programs. We do that a minimum of 5 times a year, and that's consistently filled when we do it. But we see that as a necessary need, unfortunately, in today's environment, to provide women in the community with not only the physical aspects of self-defense, but also to look at victim avoidance, which is actually more important than the physical aspects, because if you practice good victim avoidance techniques, you may not need the physical side of it.
The women's self-defense class is basically a breakdown of some concepts, some theories, some mindsets that women can use when they're out and about.
Toe to heel, just like that. Little bend in our knees, all right?
To basically cut down on the risk of becoming a victim. We teach techniques, certainly.
Next thing that we do is we take our arms, and this is the big one where most people get off balance. If I let my arms swing around and my elbows way out here, it pulls my body. Ready?
We also talk about those theories, those mindsets, those scenarios and situations that you can avoid or cut down on your exposure to becoming a victim.
If he's coming in, all I'm going to do is take one step forward here, boom, and I'm pushing 2 hands straight up and in.
One of the main things that we want to stress is awareness. We like to heighten their awareness of their surroundings. A big thing there to consider is parking lots, dark corners, alleys, blind corners, suspicious vehicles and people. Things to be aware of that maybe they wouldn't have recognized before, maybe they wouldn't have thought of as a potential threat. But the fact is, if it's an unknown and you have that feeling in the pit of your stomach, that sixth sense, maybe that's a situation to avoid. So again, not only the concepts and the techniques, but those situations to be aware of. What to look out for to make yourself less of a target, less of an opportunity for a crime.
But watch his shoulder and watch what his arm does when he gets up around this point right here.
Along with the awareness that we like to talk about, we also want to focus on providing some knowledge and some skills to put in their toolbox, like we like to say. And these, again, the mindset. It all starts with the mindset. that mentality that you may be forced to defend yourself, and that's okay. So to go along with that, we look at several different self-defense techniques. These could be hand strikes, kicks, simple joint locks, like something as easy as bending a finger. We want these women to realize that it's okay to react and defend themselves. We want to give them the tools so that that isn't such a foreign concept to them.
Hey, knee him again! Knee him again!
Our instructors are extremely well trained.
Were you willing to do 5-on-2 and hurt them? Were you willing to bite their nose? Were you willing to gouge their eye? Were you willing to punch them in the face?
Not just in self-defense, but in teaching techniques and adult learning theory. And we try to be as real with the public as we can in that. When you participate in that, the participants don't necessarily have to do the physical part if they don't want to. To bring the people in just to get them to understand the victim avoidance piece is extremely important.
Well, I've taken the class twice, and I've learned something new each time that I've taken it. The reason that I signed up for it originally was I just really felt like I needed to have just some techniques or, you know, some way to defend myself.
I signed up for the class because my niece started college she started this fall, so we took the June course, and she's about 95 pounds, very tiny, and going off to college at University of Cincinnati. It can be a kind of rough area outside the campus, so my niece, my other 14-year-old niece, my sister, my mom, and I all took the course, and we think that it helped her kind of be prepared for all the scenarios, what to look for, what to do.
When we talk about rape and we talk about sexual crimes, those are lifelong impacts on people, not just physically, but psychologically and mentally. So when you victimize somebody like that, you victimize them for potentially the rest of their life. If we can avoid that victimization, there is nothing better than that. So if we can protect those people that have gone through the Women in Self-Defense class, whether it's screaming and getting away and preventing that rape, or through avoidance, we've affected somebody potentially for the rest of their life where they won't experience that victimization over and over and over again.
I appreciate everybody coming out again. Thank you very much.
Now that you feel confident in protecting yourself, what if the assistance you need doesn't threaten your personal safety, but that of your pet, or maybe one of the local wildlife in the city? In our next story, we're going to learn how one officer with the Division of Police devotes time to the safety of animals.
These are tools I often use with wildlife. As an animal control officer for the city of Westerville, I respond to a variety of animal complaints involving loose dogs, cats, injured wildlife, sick wildlife, wildlife that gets into people's homes. I respond to wildlife in the home only. I don't respond to nuisance wildlife, animals causing property damage, or in attics and places like that. But I do have lots of information on how people can handle those situations.
We have a dedicated position to animal control, and we find that extremely important because as people who have pets, and I'm one of those people, you know you get extremely close to your pet. Well, when we look at that and you have a lost pet, or you have a pet that's been struck by a car, you have to have somebody there that is able to work with the family to take care of that.
He's out back, and he's real cute, and I bet he belongs to somebody. Okay. You might just want to walk around that way?
Yeah, which is the best way? Do you have a fenced
Probably
yard?
That way.
That way. Love it when people put identification on their animals, collars and tags, chips, those kind of options that are available to owners. I often ask, beg, plead people to make sure their animals are tagged so that I can get them home. They have no other way to tell me where they live. It's a relief to me. I find myself smiling with relief when I have an animal that I chip, that I find with a current chip that can be returned home because the owners have gotten that animal identified and with current information. And those organizations that supply the chips send me notices if I've got an animal missing in the area, and everybody works together to try and get them reunited with their families, and that's probably one of the best parts of the job. We have one of our senior communities where some residents own dogs, and they've been having some off-leash issues and some current concerns about safety for their residents. And so I'm going to speak with a group that is interested in learning how best to keep their pets safe as well as the residents safe, keeping the animals under control, and the reasons to keep your pet under control, even if it's the friendliest dog. It can still cause a problem being friendly. I've actually had people harmed from a friendly dog jumping on them and knocking them down or tripping them when they run in front of them unexpectedly. So it gives me an opportunity to speak to the folks and give them some information as to why, for their pet safety as well as their own, that you want to keep them leashed and under control, and how to keep everybody safe.
It's nice to see such excellence exhibited in Westerville's approach to animal control. It adds to the quality of life we enjoy in our neighborhoods. When we think of safety in our Westerville neighborhoods, the Division of Police is quick to affirm the value of 42 active neighborhood block watch programs in the city. And even if you're already part of a neighborhood block watch, we think you'll enjoy this next segment, as we delve into the latest developments and technology taking our neighborhood watch program to another level.
As a crime prevention specialist, we are responsible for a lot of the community programs here at the police department. We do a lot of different things: neighborhood watch, block watch. We help out with Safety City, serving our seniors, Cops and Kids Day. All those programs that the Westerville Division of Police are known for, we kind of help manage those and organize those between our officers and our volunteers and the rest of the community. We do a lot of crime analysis, data analysis. We'll look at it from the crimes that are happening here in Westerville and around the surrounding areas, whether it's thefts from vehicles, burglaries, or just general incidents. We do a lot of weekly, monthly reports, and we also look at like officer statistics too, from the operational side of the job. Overall, we have 42 block watches, and we know like for community policing, neighborhood watch is one of those quintessential pieces, and it's been very successful here in Westerville. But overall, it's grown and it's changed a little bit to where we have some older neighborhoods who still do it what we would call the traditional way, going out and talking neighbor to neighbor, doing phone tree lists, things like that. But then we also have a newer transition to block watch where it's gone a lot more virtual. So people are emailing each other, sending text messages to each other, and using websites to kind of monitor their neighborhoods and communicate with one another. Some of the neighborhood block watches were using the site nextdoor.com, and it was growing rapidly. It's fast, it's easy, and it's convenient both for the police department and the rest of the residents.
You know, when I moved in, Nextdoor was in place. Needed really somebody to organize grassroots in Nextdoor to kind of get the neighborhood watch going. We had a couple block watch captains, but they hadn't really organized, so kind of took the initiative to pull everybody together and get some street leads and pull everything together to make it a true neighborhood watch online. The ability to send information quickly. When somebody's in the neighborhood, somebody sends an urgent alert out, everybody gets it on their phones. You know, we've had some solicitors out that have been rude and aggressive and things like that, and we've been able to get it out on Nextdoor, and you know, by the time they get to the next house, the person already knows to anticipate the person and how to handle them. We've had a couple issues with thefts from vehicles and things like that, and we've been able to really kind of get ahead of it by saying that we just saw the car on Millfield, and now it's gone over to Old Coach, and you know, kind of help spread the word.
Our role with the block watches is whenever we see something going on, if it's from the data side or if the police department needs to get kind of a message out, that's where we kind of come into fit. We'll email it out. Pierre will put it in the newsletter. We'll post it on the website, we'll put it on Twitter. So we kind of funnel a lot of communication between the neighborhood watch and the police department. If we see crimes trending, that's when we kind of let people know what's going on to lock their vehicles. And what Nextdoor is really nice at is that we can pinpoint the neighborhoods because of the geospatial feature it comes with, so that we can really hit home with the people who live in that area.
The Westerville Police are very important to the uptown merchants. We depend on them almost daily. We have actually 35 stores in this small area between Walnut and County Line Road. We're all linked together, so I know what they're doing, they know what we're doing.
When they care about the community, they build the community up, they take care of it, you really have a sense of home. And I think that you find that all over Westerville. People are proud that they live in Westerville, they like Westerville, they want to take care of Westerville, and I think the block watches play a valuable component in that, because if they didn't care, they wouldn't be, communicating with the police, they wouldn't be letting us know what's going on, and there wouldn't be that level of communication. And a lot of our captains take great pride in being a block watch captain or being part of the block watch because they enjoy communicating with us and letting us know or letting other people know what's going on.
As we've shown on this program, the Westerville Division of Police devotes hundreds of hours to community service programs, many of which have won state and national awards. But as we look to the future, Chief Joe Morbitzer says there's so much more the division wants to accomplish for our citizens.
As we move into the future, and this is where every police department is going to have to be, community services won't be a department. It will be the enterprise. It will be the organization. When we look at that, crime prevention will be the main thrust. We've got to prevent crimes organizationally, not just from a bureau, but that's what we're moving towards, is how do we get the philosophy of community services and protection to be the primary philosophy of every single individual in this organization. When we've reached that, we've reached our ultimate goal philosophically as an organization.
On this episode of Focus Westerville, you've seen just a handful of the community service initiatives that our police officers facilitate. Programs aimed at our youth, our women, our furry critters, and our neighborhoods. For a complete list of community service options, visit the City of Westerville website at www.westerville.org/police. We invite you to explore the opportunity to get involved with one of the division's programs. Together, we can make Westerville a safe and enjoyable community. I'm John Buckles, and we'll see you next time on Focus Westerville.